It's day 426 of Zohar Pshat, and we're on the top of the moon and Aleph. But before we get to that, we talked about yesterday the Masov and this Masos with the traveling everywhere, the Shechinah, and we're going to continue along those lines. But I'd like to point out, I didn't see anybody explicitly makes a connection, but the Masos of Bnei Yisrael and Parshas Maseh, the 42 Masos, obviously corresponding to Shem, Shom, and Beis, and all the Masos really a person takes in this world. We know the Maseh Bnei Yisrael represent the Masos of a person through life, and therefore they correspond to V'dibarta Bum, right? The Membez, 42 Masos. The person has to go through life talking words of Torah and bring the name of Membez, the name of Kodesh Baruch Hu, down into this world. We've talked about that already in the Zohar and since the beginning. I forgot exactly where, but in any event, so there's obviously strong connection here between Nasos Avraham Avinu, where he was bringing the Shekhinah wherever he went, and the Mosos of Bnei Yisrael, where they were bringing the Shekhinah wherever they went, and obviously, although the Shekhinah did not stay in the Midbar where Am Yisrael was traveling, nor did it say with Avraham Avinu went in a place where he traveled, but wherever he went, when he went there, he made a Kiddush Hashem and built up, obviously, the connection he had with the Kodesh Baruch Hu, his household with the Kodesh Baruch Hu, and Bnei Yisrael, when they went in the Midbar, they built up that connection as well. Anyway, so there's the thing that connection is important. So, so we said let's start with the first line on Nun Amud Aleph. He says it's actually about past on base. Tochaz, he calls Zimna the Barnashi Sakab Arka, anytime person's tarrieds on the way, but in that Abdul Yasik watches these begin the Zivugo Eloi Spashmine, so the higher connection with the Shekhinah will not be separate from him. Shak Pogim Below the Chanuk, when they found damage without the masculine feminine relationship. But Masa, it's Torah Chanukve Imei, and he. In the city, he needs this when evidently he has the wherewithal to connect to Kodesh Baruch Hu, by going to shul, by going to the base medrash, by doing mitzvahs, by doing all the things he does. And certainly here where he has this this higher connection that he has to maintain once he started with connecting to the Shekhinah to maintain it. So. I'm not sure exactly that's the way it translates, but the bottom line is that what's in the city, he still has to he's on the road, because otherwise it'll be in Sakana. Not only that, this higher connection preserves him on the way. But it's not going to separate from him until he goes back to his house. But when he goes to his house, he has to bring simcha to his wife. And Nitzutz brings, of course, that when a person goes out on the road, they have to bring similar to the wife. They have the mitzvah of Aina. So evidently, when they come back as well, there's this mitzvah. Begin the devisu garma because his marriage, when Zohar ish v'isha Shechinah shriya b'neim, caused him to be able to be to merit to get this level of Shechinah. So therefore, he certainly has to make her happy because she's the catalyst for his being able to do this. And even when he's not home, when he's on the road, he's also able to do this the Shekhinah because evidently he has a pas pasalo. He has his bread in his basket, and he has his connection to his wife, and this connection, which hopefully is one which is a positive one, as seems to be the case here. So therefore, that's what brings him the capacity to achieve his potential and connect to the Shekhinah. So begin the visa that was came at the us the Gaba, and once he comes to her, and literally speaking here, but back home, but Charatollah has to cause her to be happy. Begin train Gavin for two reasons. Begin First of all, because the joy you have in uniting with your wife is the Zivuga this Zivuga Cherva so the mitzvah. Right, again the cherbos the ziguvuga chervos of the mitzvah. It's a simcha of a mitzvah. The cherbos of the mitzvah chervos of the shechinah you, and the joy you have in a mitzvah, and obviously the benon chavero mitzvah of being Mesameach your wife is also the Simcha of the Shechinah. Because anytime you do what you're supposed to do in terms of being Oved Hashem, in terms of doing Ratz Hashem in this world, brings Shechinah. Not to ask you Sholem. Stam, I'm not sure why it says Stam here. Another gives the Tata, but another gives the Itasa. But anyway, it brings the Asker Shalom Stam Ador Dichsi V'Yodat Shalom Alechu B'Kazam V'Echol Tichta. You'll know there's peace in your tent, and you're going when you come and visit your oasis, and you're not going to sin. So the Zohar asks, Zohar asks, "Chi lo paki leitas achato." I understand. If you don't visit your wife and Mesameach her, it's a chait. Yeah, it is. Hachi lo vaday. It certainly is a chait. Begin the girl yikarzi bugay lo is davkas bay, because it makes it negates the higher zibug, which is the zibug which emerges from the zibug of a Zohar Nekeva. So because that, as we said, Dvisu Garmala, that capacity to connect the Shechinah, he's not appreciating. The Rebbe says, "Vishta goremes to bala shetishla Shechinah love achash lochach lo isha lios nikra b'shem adam sholim." So now the Mesameach to his wife when he comes home is considered to be a chait. Okay, that's what he says here. But there's another aspect to it, more, I guess, pragmatic aspect. Another one, the misabra, if a woman gets pregnant, itasa, from this connection they have when he comes home. Zibug in this higher for zibug, arika spun the shmasa kadisha. This brings a tremendous holy neshama. Dai bris ikre bris the kuchabrichu, because this bris he makes with his wife is the bris of a kosh baruch Hu, because this is a mitzvah, a special mitzvah. And this, as a result, you have to have a kavanah to have true simcha in this connection. The ched v'soy, the uniting together, chad becoming echad. This I have to do when you have this joyous encounter on Shabbos. Do zivuga de chakimin. That's the zibug of the Talmidei Chachamim. This one's also a zibug of Talmidei Chachamim who appreciate their connection with their wives and the connection with the Shechinah, which they came with God and their wives, and the connection with Shechinah, which they maintain on their travels. And we'll stop here for today.